So welcome everyone to Sunday's developer meeting on 11th of June. And we have quite a program today. And I think Ido wants first to introduce us to how we go about GitHub and what it means to us and how to file issues. Ido, please go ahead.
Yeah, and just give me 1 second because I'm setting it up. So I'm setting the screen to share.
Yeah, get it.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, one thing that's I think it's very important for everyone and for us, the project as a program to have is a place for everyone to see our current development stage and what we have right now. Because what I've been asked a lot by a lot of different people is about it. They want the software, want the Sky360 software to install on their own hardware or things like this. We don't have it. We are developing it. That and we should be explicit about it. What is the stages that we have and what we have right now, so we don't keep being asked for like the latest software or things like this. Because it's right now a lot of people have just search me and message me asking for the latest software, the latest development and things like this. Makes no sense because we don't have it. So we are still in development. That we didn't even release the alpha. So it will be good for us to have a place to put that.
Yeah. Okay, I'm ready. Let me show. Okay, can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so we will start with our main repository is going to be under Sky360-repository, Sky360. Other than there are issues, if you have any issues whatsoever, a question, just create a new issue, with a question or a feature request, and just get started and type whatever you want. That's plain and simple for the beginning. I'll suggest also to use our labels. So if it's around like the all-sky camera, if it's an enhancement, it's good for the issue that this is for developers to mark. If you need help or how to, if it's a new ID, just type and add that label. That will help us a lot. So please, anyone from the community or stationers or anyone else really that is not the developers, please use the GitHub issues and not contact developers directly. It's just like we want to share the answer that developers answer. We want to share that with everyone, and we want it to be like in a repository rather than one-on-one messages. Mm-hmm. Also, if you think it's small and more interactive, please use the main channels to ask questions. You can always tag a specific developer if you want that specific developer to answer. But please use main channel rather again one-on-one messages. We want to share the knowledge that we have with everyone, and we want to start referencing, questions that we already answered and documented into the GitHub issues for that, or a README file or whatever. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Ido, a question. Sorry, may I ask a question? Is this accessible for everyone?
So I will set it up for everyone. If it's not, please let us know on one of the channels, mm-hmm. and I will check the permissions.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay. It should be. If it's not, I'll fix it right away.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. This also has pull requests turned on. So once we start we will move everything to this repository. once we are more close to, wrapping up the proof of concept and setting up like for, truly like production deployment, and focus on installation and all of that. Which brings me to the second subject. And this is for everyone that is not in software. We are still in early stages, okay? So any conversations around how to put the camera outside and all of that, it's out of context for us for now, because we are really focusing on the building blocks for that to happen. Because we are in such an early stage. Which is okay to have such discussions, but again, please either use main channels or the GitHub issues to discuss it. Otherwise, it's just not, constructive for our developers. Okay. And that's pretty much it, I guess, from the GitHub side. Okay, so I will go ahead and share this on, I guess, the general channel, so everyone can check and access and all of that.
Another question, Ido. For this new
Yeah.
repository, this will be then the final one. All the other ones will be resolved inside that one. There
Yes.
will be a README as well, and that README will certainly contain something on how to install, for example.
Yes. So there will be, like right now, it's something that I did 5 months ago when I worked on the NixOS integration and everything. But we will update it in the next week, I guess. Me and Fabio, and kind of move everything to here. Okay.
Okay.
And again, the main thing will be right now, there will not be installation, but there will be how to set up your development environment for developer. Okay. Because we started to get a lot of questions from new developers that want to join. What's available, what they want, what they need to learn, and all of that. And I want to document that as well as part of the development Docker image.
Yeah.
So everything is available.
Yeah. Where would we put a README, a documentation about the installation for a stationer, someone who is not a developer, but someone who wants, let's say, beta test with us?
Yes, it will be here in this repository as part of the like the documentation and the installation process. Where exactly, probably under docs, install that in D or something like that. Okay.
So it's two parts.
But
One
again,
part for developers and sorry.
Yeah, but the answer for now should be very clear. Not on our priority right now. We are only using development images. Okay. Because again, we want to wrap up the software so we can focus on the installation. So any installation question right now, please add it to GitHub issues, and we will get to it. Okay.
Okay.
Sweet. Yeah, and I can I guess stop the broadcast.
So let me assume from here, just because I want to showcase some of the stuff here. First of all, sorry for the microphone, but it's connected directly to the Orange Pi, and I don't know why it's not that good. I also have no webcam connected, so I have no face right now, just my image there. I'm gonna share my screen. I'm gonna show two things here. First of all, what I'm going to show is that I created the node in C++ that strings the camera image to everything else. I have some echo here, I don't know where. It streams the camera image from to the other nodes, okay? Right now it's connected to my other QHI camera. It's not connected to the one I treat. It was connected a few minutes ago, but since I wanted to show outside, it's tracking things and not inside my own apartment here. So I'm just connected to my other QHI camera, just for you guys to see. I'm gonna share it. Okay. Let's change it here. This is running no. I'm gonna launch here the simple tracker, but without the camera node. So it's not using the camera node that we use with simple tracker and the video, etc. So I'm just launching it without the camera node.
Mm-hmm.
I create this other repository. Right now it's called ROS2. And I'm building all the C++ nodes here. Right now, the only one working is the camera, and it's just a plain image from the camera. It does nothing more than getting the image in a loop and stream it to the other nodes, okay? Mm-hmm. Let's wait. Okay, so now we have the camera. So it will adjust the exposure. Since this is the other camera, it's not the 183. It's a 178. It's adjusts slowly, but it's okay. So now we can see that's tracking a lot of things that are moving on the screen. And this thing here is coming from the ROS2, from the simple tracker. So simple tracker is getting the image. It will stop by flashing it, and okay. Now it's stopping. Now it's only tracking for the flashing, but that's a problem with my other camera. Okay, now it's stable. So it's tracking a lot of the people moving outside of my apartment here. That's live view. So that's it working with the camera. So that's it. If you wanna, I also can switch the 183 camera for you guys to see, but it's the same. It will just be my apartment in a fisheye view.
Mm-hmm. No need. Amazing.
Cool. So we now get a marriage between that code, that tools that you already had, with Simple Tracker.
Yeah, that's it. Because this image here, I'm going to show the code here. Where is it? No, not this one. This one here.
Can you make the font bigger?
I cannot. I'll have to. Let me try here, because my monitor is a little bit big. Okay, it's just what I'll just showcase in here. What it's only a loop that is getting the image, and then it does the auto exposure, and then it sends the image to the other nodes in the simple tracker.
Nice.
It's very simple. I'm going to start changing it and start creating the message that will have the information from the camera itself, the exposure, gain, beam, temperature, and everything will be here. So we'll be also sending this information along with the image. So we can have everything from the camera will be available downstream.
Perfect.
I'm also building the background subtractor, the frame provider, and I'm also building everything that's very time consuming. I'm building it here in C++. I was hoping to finish some of those today, so I will be showcasing them together, but I couldn't. Mm-hmm. But anyway, that's what I have to show for you guys today.
Cool.
Well done.
So just to make it, can either Fabio or Ida explain to us what we just saw? I think the most important thing is that there are ROS2 nodes that are now working together, and
yeah. So now we saw two things, right?
Yeah.
We moved our. The second there is noise coming somewhere. So So we saw two things. And number one, we saw a complete ROS2 system that is running, in communication from the camera to the tracker using ROS2 messages, including passing the raw images into the display of the camera. That's number one. Then number two, we also saw the C++. What we started converting everything to C++, again, to improve performance and reduce memory usage and copy and all of that, right? And again, for the critical aspects, like the frame grabber, they want it to be for the tracker as well. Yeah, excellent work, Fabio. Amazing.
Cool.
Just another thing that was done, but it was like just a plain conversion of the node from what was on simple tracker, everything in Python, to C++. I will be changing everything now, because right now I'm streaming a color image, and that's not what I'm going to stream. I'm going to stream just the raw image that's bared. Then we will just remove the bare pattern later on when we need it, the color image, because we had a lot of the algorithms, they work only with the gray image, and it makes no sense to stream from the camera the color image converted and everything, because we need also the raw image to process it with other nodes, and that will be faster and faster to process. And later, when we need the color image for other things, then we will unbayer it and then send another stream with the color image. It's just to make it clear, because right now the simple tracker, all the pipelines in simple tracker uses the color image, and then when it needs it converts it back to gray image and then processes the gray image, and that takes a lot of time. So with these changes that I'm doing in the C++, removing all the memory copying and all of the Python interpreter and everything, and so I'm reducing the memory. I'm reducing also the amount of work we have to do in C++. I'll be also removing the amount of processing that we are doing right now. When I do that, I will be reducing a lot of what we are using from the Pi. So we will be much faster, and we will be able to use it in a much better way, the Orange Pi. This week also I had a talk with one of the stationeers that he's building it. It's the Aaron. He doesn't have the Orange Pi, so I helped him also run the camera app, the ones that most of the guys use just to test the camera, on the Raspberry Pi. It works. Okay.
On which one? Raspberry Pi 4?
It was a 3B.
A 3.
Yeah, because it's just connecting the camera to the USB, it gets the image, and he can see it. It works. It's not the fastest thing ever, but it works. And so it's just for curiosity. So yeah, we did it there, and I also have a 4 here, and I'll try to put this camera C++ camera node on the Raspberry Pi, and all the other nodes on the Orange Pi, just to test it on 2 different computers, the communication between them, and so we can test a more complex environment. Okay. So yeah, that's it on my part, and for this week, as I said, I will be converting the other CPU have-bounded nodes to C++, and also making these nodes connect to the configuration node, and now streaming parameters and information about everything that we have on the camera.
Amazing.
Okay, cool.
Thanks.
You were mentioning installation as well. So you now have a new operating system. I think there's a new version you mentioned from Ubuntu.
Oh yeah. First of all, let me just explain what we have.
Okay.
What we have is a custom image for the Orange Pi. That custom image is based on the Ubuntu image on the Orange Pi website from the maker. So they release a new version, get this new version, and then I created a custom image based on it. So I changed the background. I add like OpenCVs and a lot of other libraries that we use. And I update the whole system. I add a lot of scripts there to this image. Also add the app so we can run the app from the menu as we see.
Cool.
And then I build this image and I upload this image for us to use. It's a development image for us, for mostly the developers to use. It's not a production image. I want to make that clear for everyone to understand what we have.
Yeah.
It's a development image to use on the Orange Pi so we can continue with the development of the Orange Pi in better drivers and newer modules there. And that's what I built this week also.
Yeah.
Cool. Super, Fabio. Great work. Thank you very much.
Yeah. And let's move to Christian. Christian, you want to share your 3D printing?
Yes. I have several things on my plate. And first thing, last week we went to Maker Faire Vienna and gave a display 2 days, Saturday and Sunday. And we talked to many people. The most asked question was, what is an UAP? Of course, we answered that. We explained it. And then the people realized that UAPs can happen and they are not bound to UFOs, what most people suggested. But we could show them a real UAP, and after that, it wasn't an unknown aerial phenomenon to them, and it moved to a KAP. And because we used this as an introduction to them, it was a little bit funny, but they took it very good. So I can show you that image afterwards. But first, I produced a guiding tool for making the hole in the for the AllSky cam a little bit bigger. I found that this tool that you can get from Amazon, we will provide it on our website as a good tool. You can use that tool to make the 50 millimeter hole for the AllSky cam bigger. And therefore I created, you can see it maybe like this. Yes, that one over here. Yeah. I created a 3D guiding tool for that, but for the Maker Faire, it was not ready because I had problems with my printer. And the first print of that, I said, okay, I can use that one, but I forgot to take it with me. So when I was on the fair, I wanted to cut it out and realized that I forgot to bring it. Then my dad had an idea. Okay, you have got that yellow plate with you. I said, yeah, okay. It's more green than yellow, but yes, took it. We taped it from the backside to the enclosure, and then we marked the center of it, maybe like this one. Yes. And because I prepared some kind of foil with 2 circles on it, so that we get the outside circle from 80 millimeters and can place it and position it quite nicely. Then I mounted I taped the plate underneath, and it worked quite well, so that we got that hole opened up to 80 millimeters. The camera fits. It has exactly 2 millimeters to the side, and it's very easily done. So you can use a drill for it, drilling machine, something like that. But I will provide the other solution with a printed guiding part that can be mounted on the developer stand. You all know it. And then you can place it on it and have it done much more easily. But the improvised version worked well. So yes, this was a success. The rest of the fair, it was a success too. In our management meeting, we noticed that from the fair on Wednesday, we got around 100 more visitors on our page. I think, we did a very good job, Clemens, Oliver, and me. And it was fun to see the people, to respond to their questions, to answer everything, and to get a better understanding for the people what UAPs are and what you can do with a citizen science project like ours. They appreciated that we do everything very transparent and that is a non-profit organization. We pointed that out too. And I have to say it was fun to meet Oliver and Clemens, and we got an invitation from the organizer of Maker Faire Hanover directly, and we set that up too. And we do not have to pay for our display there. So we thought that it might be a good idea to everyone that going to Maker Fairs, presenting Sky 360 there is an improvement in acceptance to all the people out there. And this might be a good idea to follow for everyone that likes to go on Maker Fairs. It's a good opportunity, yes. So the features and the things that I was making for the fair and getting the enclosure with a suitable hole, it was a success. And we will provide that in our documentation so everybody can use it. One idea is that not everybody has to buy such a thing just for one-time use because it's $24. We were thinking that it might be a good idea to pass it around. Let's say one solution for Europe, one solution for the US, who can afford it and thinks it's a good idea to buy it for themselves. Okay, because we have to use it again when we open up the PTF site. So what do you think? Is it good to just buy one and let it circle around in Europe and in the US, or any suggestions?
May I add something here? So first of all, I think for reference, what you showed us with the 80 millimeter hole that you cut into for the all-sky cam, this applies only to the first 23 enclosures that were created. We then made a new camera come in, and now we have a new version of the enclosure with a bigger hole. So the new batch already will have a bigger hole there. So no need for the new version coming. But yes, you're totally right. We have the topic for the pen tilt focus device, the PT head that has to go into the enclosure, and therefore we have to cut it open on the right side. Totally agree. And I think, yes, your idea is good to have one of such cutters for Europe and one for the US, because in the future, when we are that far at that point when the PTF is available, then we'll also alter the enclosure so that there is already a pre-cut hole. So we, in the future, will be at the same point in the development as we are right now with the old SkyCam. Does it make sense what I just said? Okay.
Yes, and this tool can cut up to has a wide of 300 millimeters at max, so it will be usable for the 200 millimeter of the PTF.
Yeah, it's a development tool just for the audience here. It's a developer tool. It's for the beta version of the enclosure. We found out that we need a bigger hole. Christian found the right tool. But the next batch of the enclosure will already have the bigger hole, but the same applies for the PDF in the future.
And documentation about the process will come, but since I'm just back from the fair, I didn't upload it.
Yeah. Cool. Thanks, Chris.
Yes. Thank you. Cool. Dan, any updates from you?
Nothing significant. By the way, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You can. Okay, great. I added some more documentation to that one document that I had shared last week in Google Drive that goes over some of the installation, really a lot of the architecture, the ROS2 nodes, as well as specifically I added some installation instructions with respect to the both simple tracker Docker container as well as the GUI web interface Docker container. I also did update that. I added another branch to the GUI Docker container that you can clone and load and run alongside the ROS2 simple tracker Docker container and display the whether you wanted to display simulated camera footage in the web browser or your actual QHY camera, you can do that. And you can do that in a 2D flat image, or you can do that in a 3D kind of projected to a dome image. And I'm sure there may be, if you want to do that, let me know if you have any hiccups while doing so. Or I guess post those issues within GitHub. And,
yes, thank you. Yes.
And we'll be on it.
Okay, cool. I managed to follow your setup and it worked for me at the end. There was a little path hiccup, but yes, it worked. I just want, and maybe in a private DM I can ask you just a little hint how I can make the 3D projection, the dome projection. I didn't get that yet.
So you use issues. That's a good thing for initial, please. I'm sure
it's probably not an issue. It's an issue of myself, probably.
Still, Richard, you'll be surprised how many experiencing the same thing and have the same questions. Okay.
Sure. Yeah. Good.
But yeah, we can definitely take a look at that. And were you able to load in the menu on the left?
I could load the menu on the left. Yes,
the JSON imports.
Yes, I got
okay,
that
great.
one.
So you just when you went to click on one of the 3D views, it just wasn't there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, we can definitely look through it and figure out what was going on.
Okay.
Good. Okay. Richard, you want to speak to the new people that we have on the call? Maybe they want to introduce themselves. Or...
Yes, I want to address that off record.
Okay.
Because maybe we don't know the current status of people, how they want to contribute,
true.
If they want to contribute, in what form or shape. So let's do this in a couple of minutes off record. But I want to ask you, is there any, so we now have Copilot added to GitHub as a license, and the 5 licenses that we have right now. Any feedback now? So you have it since a week. Is there anything you can tell already? Dan, Ido, Fabio, is there anything you can say, or is it too early in the days?
Yeah, it's Can you hear me here, Richard?
Yes,
because
I can hear
every
you.
time I change. Okay, perfect. No, because every time I change computers or anything. Yeah, so far I'm using it. It's great. So on my point of view, it's an amazing tool to help on the development.
Okay, so if for you it is really a tool that you use and that helps you.
Yeah, for
Okay.
me it does help a lot. Yeah.
Okay.
It facilitates the work, so you don't have to type everything, and then most of the things that you are building, it already knows what you are trying to accomplish. So it's much more.
It speeds
I
up.
do less work. Yeah, it speeds up. I do much less work than just typing.
Okay, cool.
A lot of what I was focused on recently has been in the kind of documentation and kind of really understanding the whole system and kind of taking notes there. So I haven't really been doing a lot of coding in the last week. So I haven't dove into it yet. So I am excited about doing that, and I'll let you know what I find out.
Cool. Thanks, Dan. Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't
so I have experience.
Cool.
Yeah, I have experience of several years with Copilot, and so it's kind of just another plugin I install and does some magic with my code. I'm quite used to it. However, I learned about some new like AI plugins, based on ChatGPT that allows you to analyze like problems in the code, like finding bugs and doing some improvements. And I thought that they are both for like NeoVim and Visual Studio Code, but I haven't tried those one yet.
Okay.
But I'm definitely going to try those. I'm always for, if AI can find bugs in the code, I better use it.
Definitely.
Just to quickly chime in there, I can vouch for GPT-4 being actually useful in some cases. I have a subscription.
Okay.
And it's there's certain kinds of problems that it was quite good with.
Cool.
So
are you using it with like a Visual Studio Code or?
I don't use the plugins. I had a little go with one of the plugins, but it was more problematic than it was useful, just because it wasn't quite ready yet. I think one of the plugins, sure, that'll be the way to go. For the moment, just going to the OpenAI, OpenAI Chat GPT-4 subscription.
Yeah, that's the same here. I use it all the time. I'm even using it right now, just to helping me with the ROS2 stuff. So it's just amazing. So I use both.
So it's not really your voice now that's speaking?
So Ida, you said it's for debugging also?
Yes. The plugins, the new plugins that I saw are for, I wouldn't say debugging, but finding bugs in your code. Yeah.
Or improving your code.
Because it doesn't actually run your code. It analyzes it, right?
Yes. Okay.
So again, I haven't dove into Copilot yet, but from what I understood, Copilot's based on, it utilizes GPT.
Yes.
Am I incorrect?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it didn't start with ChatGPT for sure, right? But I think today they are doing it, either they are in the middle of integration works between the teams, or they already moved out. But yeah, it's in Microsoft it's a single AI. So.
It's designed to be much quicker acting. So when you're typing something, it's like an auto suggest, and that means they have to use smaller models that aren't quite as advanced. Still useful in their own right. But if you've got a more complex problem, like you say, you have some code and you'd like to make sure that for all the edge cases, you can paste your code in there and say, what might I have missed and require suggestions. That's the larger scope of the big models like GPT-4.
Yeah, I've had a tremendous amount of success using GPT-4 for. I shared some files with Fabio that I took some of the ROS nodes that were in Python and converted them to C++. with GPT-4. I this morning from while I was still in bed on my phone, I wrote a ROS2 node with GPT-4 based on criteria. So it's extremely useful.
With your smartphone lying in your bed.
Yes.
Okay, I see this as definitely a
I wrote it.
Yeah.
So
I completely corroborate that. It is astonishing.
yeah, I'll share with you the conversation. And by the way, they just introduced the ability to share a conversation. I was waiting for that to happen through GPT. But I'll create a PDF of that. I think it'll be enlightening if people are using it in that way. What I get tremendous value about in kind of diving in deep in something, and then you can go deeper immediately and have it. You periodically kind of summarize what you gave it to keep that context window going. But then you can, okay, write me code to do this with respect to something I told you. Anybody?
All right. So, Ida, any more topics for today?
No, nothing at all.
Nothing at all. Okay. There's just one.
The most important is please do not reach out directly to developers. Use main channels or GitHub issues. That's the main take of today.
Yeah. I think we will also make links on the website to redirect people directly to issues on GitHub. Because I think most people still use our website as the first contact point. And of course, I will
GitHub will
also
be the second. Perfect.
It is like it is. But I will also add a link to the README for developers. And if there is in the same README a sub-part for how to install for, let's say, beta testers / non-developers, then I would add that too on the website. So we come over with many questions asking the same questions.
I want to move all the documentation to GitHub. So we have version control on it, and again we can create issues around it and tag it and reference commits and all of that. So and then I'll take your README file and PDF, whatever you produce, and I'll convert it to like a markup language. That's including diagrams, by the way. GitHub supports Mermaid syntax. So if you're not familiar with it, it's actually pretty good. And that allows us to create like architecture diagrams in our markup language.
The other thing that I'll say about Mermaid is because it's text-based, ChatGPT makes Mermaid extremely powerful.
Oh, yeah.
True.
So you can go from text lists to graphical representations. And then you put that into an editor, and then you can tweak that how you want to. So very, very powerful.
I've got a question about ChatGPT and its development right now, its development state. Is a formal editor in place right now? Because when I used it last time, there wasn't anything that you can write down suitable formatted formulas.
It can certainly create a LaTeX file, but entering a LaTeX file,
Can you clarify your question?
So he's speaking about. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I wanted to use some physical formulas, and if you want to write down, let's say, an integral of something, or if you want to use a good representation for sinus and cosinus or something like that, or use, let's say, Christoffel symbols or so. you can't enter them by text mode.
No.
Okay, so
I would
can I just answer first? Okay. Okay, so ChatGPT now, the 4 of if you paid, yeah, it has plugins. Yes, and these plugins they can read an image with formulas, convert the formulas, and solve it. I saw a lot of demonstrations of that. It's incredible. It's amazing. So the new version, it can browse the web, it can search for things for you, and can also use a lot of plugins that solves a lot of these things like this, and it's pretty amazing. I can share with you some the video that I saw, so you can look at it.
Yeah, thanks.
So, Christian, they have a support. They have a Wolfram plugin, and that will allow you to do that.
Okay, yeah. So if Wolfram is used, then I can use it right away. I thought of maybe there's something like you can use with markup or just enter it in LaTeX style right away. But if Wolfram is used, then the salvation of it is quite good. Yes.
And
yeah, well, I hope Overleaf will create like a plugin that integrates with ChatGPT, because that will allow you to do exactly that.
Yeah, that would be the best. That would be the best. Yeah.
You can suggest that to them. Maybe they will do that.
Maybe they already accept LaTeX files, because it accepts a lot of different file formats there. You can just output text, or you can put any text file there with random data. It formats it for you and do everything. So maybe it already does. I don't know.
No, it does. It does. I mean, you can have ChatGPT generate LaTeX file for sure.
Yeah, no, that I saw also.
We are speaking about more interactive way, like same as like a Copilot box.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah, I created some chats with ChatGPT discussing some stuff about dark matter and gravitational lensing, and there are just a few people around on this planet that understand the subject. And for me, the quite interesting part was that I discussed something with it that isn't published on the internet yet, so it can't have found these things in the answer. And that made me think of, okay, if artificial intelligence can come to some conclusions like that, because you just told it, and it was calculating over 20 minutes for that, and came up with its own solution that is not written in the internet because I made sure of it, then it's quite amazing.
We are in trouble.
Okay, cool. Good. Christian, can you share that with me? I would be interested in seeing that.
Yeah, I made a copy of it. Cool. It's already in a LaTeX file. I can give it to you.
Great, thanks. Okay. Hey, I would say, Ido, we make it a short one today.
Yeah, sounds good.
So what I say now is, just for the record, I stop recording now.